something. Everybody's going through something, and they might hide it well. They might look you in your eyes and smile and laugh, and you might take that as like you might be disturbed by that because you know what you're going through, and everyone's laughing and smiling, and they expecting you to have everything under control as well, or at least when they interact with you. And you're thinking, y'all don't know what I'm going through. Y'all don't know all the hard work I put in. Like y'all just don't get it, and you get frustrated, and you get frustrated for it. You want to just say, forget it. Like I don't need nobody at all. Since nobody's looking out for me, I'm not gonna look out for anybody. But the one thing you absolutely do not want to do is let how other people interact with you. Don't let that impact who you are. Ever. Because the moment you do, you start losing. Who said you can't use gaming to encourage people? Who said you can't use gaming to teach people the ways? Not me. Welcome to the new episode of Gems and Gaming. Get ready as we log in to share some life wisdom and put you on game. Let's get it. Yo, what's going on, y'all? We're going to continue from where we last left off at, which, if I'm being honest, I have no idea where it was. Since today is Sunday, when I start uploading again during the weekday. Well, this will probably go out on Monday, but this will be the last time I play Skyrim before I swap over. I think I'm gonna do Fallout. It's something similar. I don't have to focus too hard, and overall it might be easy. I mean, I'm enjoying playing Skyrim while we talk about things, or who knows, I might even extend it to 2 weeks. Keep life simple. I'm not 100% sure. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it, but I do like some variety too. The mission, I think, is, I know we're gonna go in that direction and it's gonna be on the way, but I think I'm gonna just do whatever cave is undiscovered. I kind of had fun doing that yesterday or whenever I recorded. But today's topic of the week, I had a really I had a really good holiday party that turned into a great holiday party, but initially we were a little worried about the turnout and if it was going to be a good party or not. The party went well, and I guess that's more or less the lesson of the day is, like, we stress out so much before the thing has happened yet. Like, it's way simpler to take life in strides and live in the moment. This is our first holiday party without my mother-in-law. This was our first holiday party with a daughter, with a child. So, it takes, when you get into a new phase in life, it takes a lot that you probably could have done easily before, new things came into your life. But life is unexpected, so plenty of things happen like this where you're expecting something big, and on the journey to get to that big thing, there are a lot of hiccups. There are a lot of roadblocks, speed bumps, detours. There are a lot of things that you're gonna have to do and take in order to get to, let's just say, the milestone that you're trying to achieve. And I know plenty of people are probably frustrated or pissed off. They probably feel like all their hard work that they're doing it's just like, what's the point? What am I even doing it for? No one's even going to show up, or this thing isn't even going to turn out the way that I wanted to turn out. I just disappeared. He can see me though. 100%. He was looking at me like, you good? It's a lot of people that's expecting the worst to happen. And, All right. And I feel it. I feel it, man. But you have to continue to believe in the hard work that you're putting out and trust the process. Trust the process. Like, please trust the process. The holiday party turned out well, but the preparation was a lot more hectic than usual. Obviously, with, just the older you get, not only is life giving you so many unexpected turns, it's giving your friends, your family, your business partners, whoever you're engaging with, and you would love for them to have everything under control and be responsible. So when it's time for you to deal with them, that you know you're prepared to deal with whatever it is you need them for. It doesn't happen like that. Sometimes somebody is going through something major, and you need them to be okay, but they're just not. They might try their best to show up, but they can probably only give you 50% of what you're expecting. And that happens. That's life. Like, you get used to that. Is that a giant bear or just rocks? Yeah, I ain't got my glasses on, but I swear it just looked like a giant bear. Even up close, I'm still like, all right, I guess I didn't have anything to clear. I don't know what I'm here for. Oh, we're going to take out this giant real quick. It's a lot that goes into trying to be the best version of yourself. It's a lot that goes into trying to achieve something you never achieved before. One, because it's new. And all right, you want me to defeat the assassin? You tried to pull up. She said, "Surprise attack." No, you cannot. So why'd you pull up? Why'd you pull up? See? This is what's gonna happen, y'all, when y'all deal with like new things in life. Alright, a lot is happening right now. Alright, let's beat this next guy. Yeah, a lot's gonna happen in life, man. Like, surprises gonna come out of nowhere. People gonna try to pull up just like they did. Try to take you out. Try to take you down. It's all good. Like, you're gonna be prepared for it. But the thing is, though, you have to do the work. Please never forget that very important detail about dealing with life. Trust the process and make sure you do the work, because if you give up, if we had given up at any point, and I'm talking about something like a holiday party, right? Let's just talk about your real life. Like, let's talk about something that's you actually are dealing with that matters a lot to you. If it matters that much to you, I would just highly suggest you make sure that you go out and you get that thing that you want to be good. You can't worry about the outcome. You can't worry about who's gonna support or who's not. Listen, I'm a business owner. I think where a lot of entrepreneurs start to get discouraged is when they send their friends like the social media posts, or they send their friends, let's just say they send them, an event, or they say, like my business, or tell other people about it, or pay, all of the things that you would expect whenever you start a business. And a lot of friends will not do it. And yes, I still use the word friends. Like, a lot of friends will not do it. I'm telling you straight up, man. It's not. Don't let that be the thing that makes you feel like, all right, then bump them. They're not my friends no more. Forget them. Like, I don't need them no more. Listen, don't stress out about that type of stuff. Everybody is going through something. Everybody is going through something. And they might hide it well. They might look you in your eyes and smile and laugh. And, you might take that as like, you might be disturbed by that because you know what you're going through. And everyone's laughing and smiling, and they expecting you to have everything under control as well, or at least when they interact with you. and you're thinking, y'all don't know what I'm going through. Y'all don't know all the hard work I put in. Like y'all just don't get it. And you get frustrated. And you get frustrated for it. You want to just say, forget it. Like, I don't need nobody at all. Since nobody's looking out for me, I'm not going to look out for anybody. But the one thing you absolutely do not want to do is let how other people interact with you, don't let that impact who you are. Ever. Because the moment you do, you start losing. I'm telling you, you start losing. Let me see. Anytime life makes you not behave as yourself, right? Like basically making you believe that who you are is not capable of getting through whatever problem that you're dealing with, then that's the moment life starts to win. That's the moment you start to lose in the game of life. When as soon as you're not yourself anymore and you feel like you got to be something else just to make it, you're basically giving up who you are to get, to what you believe is the next level. And every time you give up a piece of yourself to get to the next level, you leave a piece of who you are behind you. So now one day you're gonna need that side of you that you tried to throw away, that you tried to give up. And when you need that side, it's gonna take you either some time to rediscover who you are, or you might really have to debate with yourself, like, man, is that part of me, that I know I love, that part of me that I know is important, is that part of me worth having in order to is it worth having? I guess, should I give up all of the things that I've gotten so far without those original aspects of myself, without those key details, like those hobbies I like, those things I love? Is that stuff important, or is this money more important than that? And a lot of people go through this in life. They have that question asked and they wonder to themselves, that exact thing that I'm just saying. They're wondering that, are those things important? And some of us decide, no, they're not. And the rest of us say, you know what? I should try to keep going and rediscover who I am. I shouldn't have given up those things. I shouldn't have quit too early. This money or this security, this job is not making me happy. What was making me happy was blossoming in who I was meant to be. What's not making me happy is abandoning who I think I was meant to be for a paycheck. Regardless of how nice the paycheck is. Don't get me wrong. I've given up some pieces of myself to make sure I get paid. Don't get me wrong. I've definitely done it. I think your job is extremely important. It teaches you how to do great business. Just because you see other entrepreneurs, some of them doing well and others trying, doesn't mean it's the right time for you to try just because other people are doing it. Obviously, continue to do well at your job so that you can have more in life, so that you can learn more business, have more opportunities, have more networks, meet more connections, do well at that job. But if you can dedicate 15 minutes a day to that one hobby that you love to do, you just feel like you're so mentally tired and it's not that much time, I'm just asking you for 15 minutes. Or we can start off small with like 10 minutes. Can you just dedicate 10 minutes a day to that one hobby that you love? You know what I'm saying? Just 10 minutes. As a parent, you obviously got to find like some significant time. That's a significant 10 minutes, but it's still worth it 10 minutes. Like, it's still impactful for you because that's 10 minutes more than what you would have done, last week or yesterday. Now you're saying, you know what? I do have 10 minutes to focus more on the things that I want to do in life. Like, my hobbies and stuff like that. Because you only get to live once. You only get to live once. And I know things are hard currently, at the moment. I understand that. And I'm not trying to even belittle that. I'm like, I understand. Trust me. Trust me, I understand. But the one thing I also understand is one day you might regret not doing it. And that regret, that feeling lasts a lot longer than the urge to procrastinate. Like you feel like, oh, okay, I need to do something, but I don't have the time. And that's gonna take time away from me doing this, doing my other thing. Doing my more important details, like whatever, collecting money, collecting a paycheck. Collecting money is way more important than rediscovering who I am. That's what you think. That's what you think. Until you collect so much money or not enough money at the age of 70, and you start to wonder if it was even that important to begin with. I've seen a lot of poor people far more peaceful or at peace than I am. Making me think, okay, yeah, you just don't know. You just don't know, because once you make a certain amount of money, then you'll see the benefits that money brings. And then I've met a lot of rich people, more miserable than I was. And it's strange. It's a strange dynamic how you can find a poor person that's extremely happy, or a poor person that feels fulfilled in life, and a rich person that feels that he has not found the success that he has been craving, but he's very rich. And then it makes you wonder why. And then if you just examine the two people in this particular scenario, this is not always the case. This is a very generalized statement. But if you examine the two people, usually you can tell their happiness by the relationships in their lives. You can have a poor grandfather with a strong relationship with his grandchildren, and that to him is worth more than any dollar can bring. Of course, he would love to, treat his grandchildren financially, but that strong relationship that he has with his grandchildren, that also matters. And I don't think that we look at the simplicity of that type of stuff whenever we're focused on our goals. We look at the end result and we think about other people's end result being better than ours, instead of paying attention to the journey of how many relationships we built in that moment. How many things we've gotten right, how much better we've gotten. We don't pay attention to those things. So they probably looking at me like, what is this man doing? And I'm rambling for the most part. But I say all of that to say, just reiterate my earlier statement of, you should not give up on who you are in order to get somewhere that you don't really understand what's on that side. You know what I mean? Like for example, you're trying to aim to be the richest person ever. Let's just say something like that. And then you try to do it. What's the easiest way? And then you try to get to that direction your whole life, and then you realize that you gave up something that you actually needed in order to get that thing. Like, you probably already had it within you, but you gave it up in order, to achieve a milestone that you really, really didn't even need to achieve. Sometimes you just got to stay focused on a goal and just keep working that goal. Don't get off the path. I said a lot to try to prove that point, but I think that's the gist of what I'm saying. Is don't get off the path. Don't go to the right and feel like, I need to go right because, the way that I'm going isn't working. Man, you got to have more faith in yourself. Have more faith in yourself. Like, you're more capable than you think. You're not. You made it this far in life, right? You know, you can say it's an accident, but depending on how old you are, if you 25 plus, you saying you've been doing accidental things for 25 years to get to where you are today. I'm sure where you're at today, I'm sure you can probably look back on it and think, I had a lot to do with it. Not everything. I'm not saying that. You didn't have everything to do with it. But you have a lot to do with it. A lot. So if you just stay focused and continue to work, you're going to look back when you're 50 and think the same exact thing. I had a lot to do with this. And I'm happy about it. You know, that's what I would imagine. Alright, as long as he's not focused on me, I'm gonna just go ahead and bounce. But that's what I would just imagine you probably say to yourself, you know, years later. It's like, pretty happy I didn't quit. I wanted to so bad, but I didn't. You know, and I'm sure that's what you say. Or you might say I still got some work to do. It might take you 50 years. It might take you 60. But it's no shortcut to the end of the journey. You just got to take the path. There's a lot of detours that's going to say shortcut. Then you're going to take that turn. There's going to be a lot of traffic. And you're going to be looking kind of crazy. I'm just saying. What is this place? You don't want to look crazy. You want to make sure you're on top of what you need to be on top of. Continue to work hard. Continue to trust the process. I guarantee you, you'll be happy you did. Okay. Got some. Alright, we're going to end off this. I don't know where my companion is. I actually should be a little worried, actually, because if your companion isn't with you, then I think that means they died. And I like Jazargo. But no, I also saw him use like a fireball earlier today, so I think he okay. He just couldn't keep up me like climbing a mountain while talking. But yeah, man. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and slide here. This might be the end of our journey, which is actually the start of this game. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out. Like I said, I might just swap it up. Might use a different game. I'm thinking like Fallout. I might even do Crash Bandicoot. So don't get me the line. I don't know. But as I can tell, I'm gonna just play older games, stuff that makes me able to stay focused while we talk about important topics of the day. So look, man, I'm about to go ahead and slide. Y'all take it easy. Never forget, you're way more capable than you think. God bless.